It's funny. Every time before I get up here and do this, I always think, I have some notes and I want to have it all laid out. And for the first time ever, I've got some notes, but they're all over the place. And as I've been studying and listening to all of these other great stories, and the story's been incredible. It's just so inspiring. And give all of us up, man. And every one of you in here have a story, right? You have a story to tell. And you're still building that story. And your story with EXP, if you follow the system that everyone's talking about, you will be on the stage. You will be speaking to your team and your group. And I truly believe with Rob, that there will be 1 million agents at EXP around the globe. And that we will be having events like this nonstop all over the planet. And it's going to be the people in this room that are putting those together in the future. So you're just getting started. I see so many great leaders out there, and it truly is an honor to be here on the stage in front of you, because so many of you are already killing it. How many of you, your team is not growing as fast as you want it to grow? Raise your hand and be honest. Rob Flicks, the first one, raised his hand. Never satisfied. I love it. That brings up a good point. Somebody said yesterday, comfort is the killer of all dreams. If you're comfortable, get over it and get a dream. Right? It's time to move on. Comfort will kill your dreams. Don't be comfortable. Find something that stretches you beyond belief. It's one of the things I love about running with Rob. He's always taking it to the next level. Always looking at something greater, another place we can go, another challenge. It keeps you alive. It keeps you feeling good in the morning. You wake up excited. How many of you woke up this morning excited when you got up? That's great. So, some of you came here looking for a nugget. None of our teams, I'll tell you this, none of our teams are growing as fast as we want them to grow. Believe it or not. When he raises his hand and says it's not growing, I promise you, that is the truth. His team is not growing as fast as he wants it to grow. How many agents did you have the last 30 days? 600 and something? Unbelievable. 3 times the size of my brokerage. It was one of the top 5 in the nation, and he's doing 3 times that in 30 days. Think about that. And we're just getting started. And so, and it is because of duplication. And that is one of the things that I have learned here, is that duplication really is the secret. Some of you are trying to figure it out on your own. You're trying to do your own thing. You're trying to recreate the wheel. And that's your problem. That's the struggle, is what you're doing. And the best way to look at duplication in my mind is, imagine this entire room was on your team. And if they all did what you did the last 30 days, what would it look like? Think about it. Think about what you did the last 30 days. And if every single person in this room did exactly what you did, what would your team look like? So I do that on a daily basis now. Every day, at the end of the day, I go, okay, if everyone on my team would have done what I did today, what kind of result would I have gotten? And is that the result I want? And if the answer is yes, then go do it again the next day. But if it's not, then be the person. See, some of you are sitting there going, well, if so-and-so would have come here, or if I would have got this agent here, or if I would have got that person here, everything would be different. You be different. You be the one. You be that person that you want everyone else to become. Because what I'll tell you is they will do about 90% of what you do. And that's the real secret of duplication, is looking in the mirror and making sure that everyone can do what you do. Really keep it simple. Anybody in here ever been through a slump? I'm a huge sports fan. How many of you like sports? Where's Gene? He's in the back? Okay. He's having some coffee. That's all right. I know you're back there. I know you can hear me, Gene. I love to talk sports with Gene. So I was thinking slumps, and I was thinking, what can I tell? Because my goal here really today is to inspire one person. If there's one person in this room that leaves here today and is inspired because of something that I said and changes their life, this is what can happen. So I'm really just looking to inspire one of you. And so I was thinking, what can I tell you in the beginning that I went through that was memorable? And I remember right out of the gate, I was so excited because I got it. And I knew this was going to change the industry. I just had a feeling this was it. And so I think the first 7 or 8 people that I talked to signed up. Kind of like Brent, right? And those people were excited, and they get off of your energy, and they pick it up, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be easy. And then I went into a slump, and I think I showed this to about 40 people that told me no. I was like, wow, what am I doing? What is this? What's wrong? And so I was looking at slumps on the internet. If you're a baseball fan, anybody remember Ty Cobb?
Of course.
In 1920, he went to bat 17 times without a hit. 17 times in a row. Anybody remember Babe Ruth?
Yep.
0 for 21 in 1934. Anybody remember Lou Gehrig?
Yep.
0 for 20 in 1936. Ted Williams, 0 for 17 in 1954. Barry Bonds, 0 for 23. Can you imagine what he was thinking the 23rd time he got up there? You know he put on different underwear that morning. He went and got a different bat. He's like, man, where's my lucky socks? I mean, he's thinking about everything but hitting the baseball, right? After 23 times at bat and no hits. But did he stop swinging? No. One of the biggest home run hitters ever. Tony Gwynn, 0 for 19 in 98. We all go through slumps. We all go through periods of time where it's not working. You just keep batting. You keep getting up to the plate. You keep swinging. But change things up. Don't be afraid. And so I remember, and I remember having this conversation with Rob. He may or may not remember this. I don't know. But I said, man, well, I don't know what I'm doing now. It's not working. No one's listening. And he said, well, maybe you're overselling it. Maybe you're trying too hard. Maybe you're thinking about it too much. And so I thought, okay, what can I do different? And so the next appointment I went to, I sat down across from her, never forget her name. I was sitting there talking to her. Her name was Sheila. And I said, Sheila, I really don't think this is a good fit for you, but I want to share it with you. And I learned something amazing that day. Because for the next hour and a half, Sheila sold me on why it was a good fit for her. And got on the front of her seat. And I started doing that on every appointment, and every single time I would tell them, I don't know if this is a good fit for you or not, but it probably is a great fit for somebody you know. All of a sudden, they would move up in their seat, lean forward, and start to tell me how great they were. And all I would do is listen. And it changed every day. And I started getting hits again. And so if you're going through a slump, don't be afraid, switch it up. Be consistent. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Be consistent, do it every day. You know, I have a group. Anybody in here in my 100-day fast start? Raise your hand. Yeah, a few of you. So, right down the middle. That's good. Yeah, so our deal is 2 hours a day phone calls, every single day, 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. That's tough, right? To do that for 100 days, that's commitment. But you know what? You get habits created. Great things start to happen. If you do something for that long, imagine the success you're going to have. And I can tell you, those people are having amazing success that are in that program. You know, the lunch and learns. In the beginning, we didn't have a lunch. We didn't even have a PowerPoint. I mean, I wasn't using napkins, but I think I went through like 20 legal pads in the first 3 months, just writing everything down, showing to them. Finally, we had a PowerPoint, started using that, and then we started doing lunch and learns. And I would tell you that is the lifeblood. Somebody talked about the three-way calls being the pixie dust. I believe lunch and learns are the pixie dust. I believe if you're not having a lunch and learn in your market, that you're truly missing the boat. How many of you are plugged in to a weekly lunch and learn? Raise your hand. Stand up if you're part of that. That's disappointing. That's a third of the room. I will tell you that it is the secret, Pat Hayes, right? It works. Every single week we did a lunch and learn, whether anyone showed up or not. We just kept doing them, right, Tom? We did them over and over and over. I promise you people will start showing up. People need a place to bring people to, especially if they're busy. Anyone can do that. And if they know you're consistent, they know you're having it there every single week, you guys should be networking together. And before this event is over, how many of you are willing to commit to getting a lunch and learn started in your market right now? Stand up. That's awesome. So if we all work together and we invite to those lunch and learns and we all communicate our lunch and learns together, what that will do for our growth. Follow-up is key. I keep my follow-up really simple. I have what's called a Hot 100. There's not always 100 on it, but somewhere around that. I use a program now. I used to just text everyone. I use a really simple program now. It's called Reach. Yes. And it's great because when you put you love it, when you put their contact information there in the groups, you can create buckets in there. And so every 20 days I have my top 100 and I send them a text message and it personalizes it for you and puts their name in there. And so you can make it really simple. It's not about coming to EXP. It's just when I'm done talking to them, I'll always say, is it okay if I keep you in the loop about the amazing growth that's happening in our company? 9 times out of 10, they say yes. I put them in that group list, and I just continue to drip on them. Every 20 days, I create a text based on something that's great that's happening at EXP, whether it's we just went onto the NASDAQ, or we just hit 20,000 agents, or something's happened in their market, or this big producer just came on board. It's just something simple and quick, but it lets them know that I'm thinking about them. And you'll be amazed. If you get a list going like that of about 100 people, I promise you, every time you do that, every 20, 30 days that you do that, 5 or 6 of them are going to ping you back. And they're going to say something like, you know what, I've been thinking about EXP, when can we get together? Or, can you send me another video or something like that? And that's what you're looking for. Because most people are busy, right? How many of you are busy? We're all busy. Just because they don't respond to your text message doesn't mean they don't like you. It just means they're busy. So don't take it personal. Big events. It's the most important thing we do. I gauge everything in my business based on the number of people that show up at these events. And I remember the first one we did, we had, I think there was 56 realtors. I think 20-something of them were on my team, maybe 25. And I've been tracking it ever since. And I can tell you that if you're not getting your people to these events, your team will not duplicate and grow. This is the system. This is the most important part of the system that we do. EXP doesn't pay for this. We pay for this. And this event coming up, how many of you got one of these?
Already signed up.
All right, so I normally don't do this, but I'm going to do it today because this is important. EXP doesn't pay for this. We pay for it. The people in this room put this together. It's a lot of work. It's a huge commitment. How many of you are committed to getting your ticket to this before you leave today? Stand up. How many of you are still thinking about it? How many of you standing up are committed to getting one extra ticket and bringing somebody with you? Keep standing. All right. I remember when I sat down with Gene Frederick and we were in Austin, Texas, and he said, I really hadn't thought about this expanding out of Austin in the first year, but you're in San Antonio. He said, I'll come to San Antonio for you. And I said, well, how often will you come? And he said, as many times as you want me to. Christmas Day, the day before Christmas. How many one-on-ones did Gene Frederick do for you?
8.
In one day, the day before Christmas. I think he bought Susan's Christmas present on the way home that night. Right? That's commitment. He's a man of his word. I love that. I love being around people that when they stand up and they say they're going to do something, they do it. Be that person. Get those tickets today, and we'll have an incredible event.
Used for recruiting.
So my mindset, what's my mindset when I'm recruiting agents today? You know, I've used a lot of different analogies, flipping rocks. Basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for someone that has a want, a need, or a desire. Basically it's a dream. I'm looking for somebody that still has a pulse, somebody that still wants more out of life. Guess what? Some people are dead inside and they just don't know it. Now you can rekindle that dream and you can spend the time and energy to do that, and that's a great thing. But I'm really looking for someone that's got a driving passion and they just aren't sure how they're going to get there. And so when I'm flipping rocks, that's all I'm thinking about is, do you have a dream? Do you have a dream? Do you have a dream? Until I find somebody that has a dream, and then we show them how to go do it. Because they can build anything they want to build here at this company if they do have a dream. And you've heard story after story after story of people that are doing it and making it happen. What is your story? What is your dream? Are you cultivating it every single day? Or are you just going through the motions? I put this on the plane the other day, and I've read through it one time, but this just came to me. And it's really about the dream. The D in dream. First step is you got to define it. What is it? What does it look like? Do you have it in front of you? You're in a beautiful place right now, right here on the ocean. It'd be a great time before you leave here today to just take a little walk by yourself down the beach and think about what you really want. Maybe some of you stop dreaming again. Or you stop believing that you could do it because you've let that voice. I call him the drunk monkey. Anybody have a drunk monkey? I call him the drunk monkey. And he always shows up at the stupidest times. And it's that person that we all have in the back of your head telling you why, you know, he showed up somewhere like in 3rd grade, I think, right? And he started telling you why you couldn't do something. You weren't big enough, you weren't strong enough, you didn't have enough, you didn't come from the right country, you didn't live in the right state, you didn't have the right parents, you weren't the right this, you weren't the right that. They're excuses. Guess what? You handle all excuses the same. You turn around, you acknowledge them, you slap the shit out of them, and you move on. They're just excuses, and we all have them. Trust me, if we put them all in a fishbowl and shook it up and you went and drew and got somebody else's excuse, you'd want yours back. Because at least you know it. Right? The only way you get past that is to have a dream. The only way you overcome the drunk monkey is to face your dream and define it. And I love it. How many of you have a dream board? Look around the room. Those are the people that are winning, I promise you. It seemed corny to me. I remember reading Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. First great book I ever read. I think I've read it 9 or 10 times now. Because I just didn't get it. I never got that in school. Did y'all get any of that in school growing up? Like, I never saw anything like that. It's like, what do you mean? What you think about is what you become? That was Greek to me. But I just kept reading it, and kept doing it, kept thinking about it. Keep it in front of you. The R in dream is realize it. Make it real. You know, now today, I was just reading the other day, they are, for kids that are very ill or have different diseases and can't get out of bed, they are doing these reality glasses, 3D reality, whatever they are, virtual reality. That's what it's called. They're doing theme park rides for these kids, and they're letting them watch them while they're laying there in bed. And they're doing all kinds of studies on this. And what they've come to learn is that that is actually more real than if they actually went. And it's having a greater impact on their brain and what they're able to accomplish in their mental state while they're in bed than actually going to the park itself and doing it, because they control it in a way that's giving them this incredible experience. And so when you think about your dream, are you looking at it from afar? Or are you realizing it, and are you getting inside of it? What does that mean? So, what is your dream? What do you want? Maybe it's a car. Maybe it's your kids in college. Maybe it's a helicopter. So, if you were going to dream about a helicopter, would you dream about a helicopter flying around and you're watching it fly around? What do you think that tells your subconscious mind?
You're not in it.
But what if you visualize stepping up in it, sitting down, grabbing the seatbelt, and putting in, and look at the joystick? What does it feel like? What color is it? All of those knobs, do you know what they are? Do you know what they mean? Can you fly it by the instruments? See, your subconscious is starting to think about that and go, you know what, are you serious about this? Do you really want it? Because if you really, really want it, and you really start to picture yourself in it, your subconscious doesn't know the difference. And when you can do that, you will have it. It's just a matter of time. Oh, I lost my notes here. E, exercise and evaluate it. Write it down. The process of getting it. What are the steps? And basically, that is, what are the goals? What's it going to take to accomplish? How many, break it down. How many people do you need on your team to get the amount of money to accomplish the dream? Right? How many people you need to have on your revenue share team? We think it's about $800 per agent per year. So if you can define it in numbers, you can start to work it backwards, right? So you need, X amount of people on your team to accomplish this goal. So in order to have X amount, maybe your closing ratio is 10%. So you've got to show it to X amount of people, and you start to write a goal, right, Golden? I guarantee you David Golden has a step-by-step process on how he's going to get his goals on his wealth chart. I have never seen his wealth chart, but I know him enough to know that it's there. I guarantee you he does those steps. So have the plan of action written down. A, adjust and analyze your process. Right? Check your goal, make sure you're getting where you need to be. You should have timelines in there. If you have a goal to have 1,000 people on your team, and you know how many people you got to show it to, and you're going to be there in 2 years, how many people are you going to have on your team in 2 months? If you're not there, then you need to adjust. Keep adjusting. It's okay. Plans change, decisions don't. Right? Plans change, decisions don't. And then the last one is become a master of what you do. Become a master of the process. Don't get caught up in the result. I promise, if you do the right things, if you have a big enough dream, and you show it to enough people, and you master the process, the reality will start to happen, and your team will begin to grow. I remember the first year, my goal was to have 500 people on my team. And that was a 5-year goal. Because I knew with 500, right Rob? 500 people is $500,000 a year in residual income. And I thought, okay, that's a great 5-year goal. And in 14 months, I hit that goal. It's like, wow, we got to reset it. At the end of the second year, that 300 from the first year grew to about 1,000 in the second year. That 1,000 grew to about 2,300, I think, at the end of the third year. Now it's well over 3,600. I was able to take 6 or 7 months off in the last year and a half to enjoy what I've built and to really focus on the reason why I did this. And I can tell you, for me, it was really simple. I had 2 boys that I wanted to create a legacy for, and I saw a way in this company that I could do that. And so I just kept that out in front of me every single day. And you know, today they're both in an incredible place, and I couldn't be more proud of them. Couldn't be more proud of this opportunity and what it's allowed me to do with those 2 boys of mine, and the freedom. You know, for Christmas, I was able to. I said, "Where do y'all want to go? We'll go anywhere on the planet you want to go." And they picked Vegas.
There you go.
Hey, that's right. That's right. But you know what? We had a blast in Vegas, and just to be able there, you know, and to be able to introduce them to some great wine and cigars, and hang out with my 2 boys in Las Vegas, and you know, go anywhere we want to go, whatever show they wanted to go see, whatever they wanted to do, we went and did it. And you know, they both, at the end of that trip, came to me and thanked me and started crying for the opportunity that they had and what they have with their dad. And you know, that's priceless. To have an opportunity in something where you can truly not only get your dream, but help somebody else get theirs. And so when you're flipping those rocks, you know, going back to my mindset, and then I'm done. There's 3 kinds of people. This is my mindset. This is not reality, okay? They're either ignorant, they don't know yet. That's okay. We forgive them. It's our job to show it to them. They're stupid because they see it and they just don't get it. I can't fix stupid. Or they're here with us at EXP. Love you guys.